What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm J and we are locked in. This is a new movie on Netflix called Hustle, starring Adam Sandler, and it's executive produced by LeBron James and Maverick Carter. Now, what this movie is about is Adam Sandler, aka Stanley, is a scout for the Philadelphia 76ers, and what he's doing is looking for that next it person to be the star of the organization and take them into the future and hopefully win some rings. Now, before we jump into this and break down this movie, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you want to be a part of it, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you can do. Now, we're going to jump into this, and you already know being in the NBA is already tough enough. But being a scout and trying to find the next person for your team is even harder. So there's going to be some ups, some downs, but let's jump into the hustle and see how it plays out. We start the movie off and we see Stanley walking with his Sixers gear on with a guy who doesn't speak too much of English. So you can hear his broken English, and the place that they're walking through, it looks a little bit suspicious. But this is because they're over in Europe. And when you're going to find these players, you might have to go into the places that you were least expecting to see some great talent. Now, when he comes in here, he sees Boban. Now, he has a different name on here, but he's hooping behind the back, dunking on people. So, of course, Stanley is interested in this. But he's trying to tell him, hey, you can only be 22. If you're over 22, you can't be in the NBA draft. So Boban is lying. And then his son comes in. He says, oh, he's only 10 years old. Now, if you've never been overseas, you're going to see a lot of talent that you weren't expecting. I was in Slovenia for about 3 weeks, and the gyms they had over there, they were marked up for soccer, but they had some talent in there. So, hey, you might be able to find a diamond in the rough. So we see Stanley traveling all throughout Europe. He has a list of names and he's marking them off. Players are getting hurt. Some players are having attitudes. So it's not looking that good for him when it comes to scouting for the next it for the 76ers. Once Stanley gets back to the States, he has to tell the whole Sixers organization exactly what he's seen when he was out scouting. Now, the Sixers, their organization is kind of looking like what the Lakers is. We have the father that owns the team, Rex. We have his daughter here, Kat, and then we also have a son named Vince. And he's saying, hey, you're not going to be here to listen to my presentation and go over what I seen with the scouts? And she's like, nah, I got a lot of business that I need to go handle. AKA, she's just like Jeannie Buss. This is the son of the owner of the Sixers, Vince. He's going against everything that Stanley is saying. Now, Stanley is in the good graces of his father, Rex, and he's telling Rex, listen, we shouldn't go with Haas. That isn't who we need to draft for this team. But Vince, he's already said this is who we need because he feels that he's going to be running the organization after, and this is where the clash is going to begin between Stanley and Vince. This is the owner, Rex, here. And what did he do? He trusts Stanley. He trusts his judgment on the players and their talent on what they can bring to this team. So he's looking at Stanley and he sees that he backed down when Vince said, no, we're drafting Haas. We need Haas on the team. What does Stanley say? He just says, okay, that's cool. He doesn't stand up for what he believes in. And you can see that Rex, he's noticing it. After the meeting, Rex goes and actually picks up Stanley. He's like, take a ride with me. And while they're riding together, he's asking him, what did you actually think about that talent? Because he trusts Stanley in his judgment. And he tells him, never back down. You backed down for my son today. And you said that we shouldn't be getting Haas. And he's just like, I won't back down anymore. So basically, he wants you to stand up for yourself. And this is how much he trusts in Stanley. He's taken him out of the scouting position and he gave him an assistant coach job. Now you see Stanley in here. He's looking at it like, man, I definitely appreciate you. Rex has been looking out for Stanley because Stanley has brought him so much talent. It's just his son doesn't like that. You know how it is when the son sees your dad showing some kind of attention to somebody else, get a little bit jealous. Stanley got the good news. He's about to become an assistant coach. We seen him FaceTiming his family. And when he gets home, he has his wife, Teresa, and his daughter. Now he's getting a hug. He hasn't seen him in a while. He's been overseas scouting nonstop. Now they do make a little bit of joke about his daughter growing up since the last time he's seen her. And she has some breasts now and she's giving him a side hug. But she wants to go to the grave site to watch a movie. Now, Teresa already told her daughter no. But Stanley came home. What is he going to do? Just like most fathers. Oh, go ahead. You could go ahead and go down there. Me personally, my daughter's not going to no cemetery to watch nothing. There's no reason to be at a cemetery unless we're going to a funeral. So Teresa's a little bit upset. Stanley, I just told you she didn't do her homework. She doesn't need to go watch anything. But he's like, oh, don't worry about it. Guess what? I got some good news. I'm about to be the assistant coach. So that changed Teresa all the way up. She's like, oh, assistant coach? That means he's going to be here. He's going to be able to see his daughter on a regular basis. He's going to be able to go to her birthday parties. He's been missing them. So, hey, it looks like we on the up and up. I told you all in the intro, there's going to be some ups and some downs. He just became the assistant coach of the Philadelphia 76ers. He got his family happy. He dropped his daughter off at the movie. And guess what we hear over the radio? Rex Merrick, the owner of the 76ers, has just passed away. Could you imagine that? The guy that's your mentor, your boss, just gave you a promotion, and that same day he passed away when you just got a new job, and his son doesn't see eye to eye with you. One thing that we see about this movie, there's a lot of NBA players in there, and I give a lot of praise to LeBron for bringing in all of his colleagues and having them in the movie. Now, when we show up to the little reception in remembrance of Rex, he goes over and he talks to Kat, the daughter, and he's just telling her, you know, I feel sorry for everything. I don't have anything to say. And she's like, I heard you got that promotion to assistant coach. Well, he got the promotion. She's not going to be here to have his back. She's saying, I'm going to go do some other things behind scenes while my brother runs the day-to-day operations of the whole team. So you see how that could be potentially bad for Stanley. We even have Kenny Smith, and he's playing a guy named Leon Rich. Leon Rich is an agent. Rich Paul, Leon Rich. You guys get where I'm going here. And him and Stanley, they're close. And he's basically saying, I heard you got that assistant coaching job, but you should be, you know what I'm saying, trying to be out here with me and becoming an agent. But he's just giving him his condolences because he knows how close Stanley was to Rex. This is 3 months later. Vince is in charge. They done drafted Haas against what Stanley said. He's coaching out here. They got the Sixers out here, and they're showing us why they be getting beaten in the playoffs. They got Tobias looking like he hooping. Shout out to Tobias Harris, you know. But in the middle of the practice, they call Stanley on upstairs. Vince's assistant calls Stanley up there, and he's saying, listen, we got Haas. We got the Hawks pick next year. We can't miss on this next one. Now you're down there. We got to all make sacrifices. And basically what he tells Stanley to his face is, you're no longer going to be the assistant coach. I need you to get back on the road and go scout some players. Mind you, this is right after they just drafted the players. So they got literally 9 whole months before the next draft. And they're saying, go out there and start doing some more scouting. You remember what Rex, the old owner, told him? He said, never back down again. What does Stanley do? He backs down, and he's getting ready to get on the road. Stanley hears this, and of course he doesn't want to go back on the road. Me personally, I would have been like, cool, let's get it. Overseas, I'm doing that. When he gets home, he's talking to Teresa. She's basically saying the same thing that Rex was saying. You're giving up your dreams? You're just going to back down from this? You should quit. Now, she goes to the full extreme and says you should quit so you don't have to be a scout and you can stay here and be with the family. Now, if he quits, just thinking logically, where's the money going to come from, Teresa? You're at the house, you're cooking, you got your little thing, but this whole house came because I'm on the road making money. So I can't just up and quit. But it has him thinking about it. And what I tell you, he thought about quitting, but realistically, bills are due on the 1st. He packs up, he gets on the road. 50-year-olds don't have dreams. They have nightmares. The first stop is Majorca, Spain. I've been there. It's a little island south of Spain. Nice place. But Leon Rich is here. We know that he's an agent. We know that he's friends with Stanley. And he's like, hey, I'm out here with a client. Let's have breakfast. They meet up and he's telling them, look at the scenery. Look how beautiful it is. But Stanley, he's loyal to Teresa. He's not even going to glance over there. But this is where Leon is basically breaking it down. You should be an agent. You should come and do this with me because you have those people skills. You're able to see that talent, and it's very, 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 very lucrative. And the reason he's telling them to become an agent, we see it, and it's happening right in front of our eyes. The way the NBA is shifting, people are willing to get rid of their star players. Nobody is safe on the team. And he's basically saying, you're out here scouting. You see how he took you off assistant coach and threw you out here? You could potentially be gone from scouting. And he's thinking about it. And it's hitting closer and closer to home each and every time. Stanley was supposed to be meeting up with a guy to show him a player. Now, when they meet up, they get to the arena. The player isn't even there. He's not showing up. So Stanley's thinking, why am I even here? He said, oh, you can talk to the coach. He said, what is the coach going to tell me? So he takes his basketball. He wants to go shoot some hoops. And what does he find? There's a whole crowd out here going crazy for somebody out here. Let's see what we got going on. There's some random Spanish guy out here hooping. I'm talking about no one's playing defense on him. He done got 2 back-to-back fast break dunks. This is a pickup game. We got old people out here. We got young people. Basically, the whole city's out here watching him. He going crazy. And, of course, Stanley is looking like, who is this guy? A little bit flashy, tatted up, got some handles. Who is he? And out of nowhere, one of the players, construction boots on, no shirt on, says, you know what? I got this flashy guy. Now, you seen your teammate getting cooked all night and you finally deciding to step up when you knew that you were better than them and you're not going to hold the best player. But this is Bo Cruz. And he's out here doing everything that he needs to do. So now Bo Cruz, in this over aggressive, handles out the world, dunking on everybody, they get into it. And they're going to play a little bit of one-on-one. Now, Bo Cruz does have on these big construction boots, and there's some money on the line. So now it's about to get serious. Money on the line, they going at it. He got 3 opportunities to score. First one, Second one, Third one, off the backboard, catches it. Think he's about to catch Bo Cruz off guard, shoots it, gets it blocked. Everybody's like, oh no, give that money to Bo Cruz. This is street ball for you. Bo Cruz gets his money, packs up, heads on out. Now, Stanley wants to go talk to him. Who is this? Could this potentially be a new recruit, a new scout, a new person to come to the 76ers so I can get my coaching spot back? Now, they get on the bus with him. He had to chase it down, so he's out of breath, and he's using Google Translate. And he's basically saying, are those construction boots because you're a construction worker, or is it part of the hustle? Now, everyone's listening to this. And one thing he says on there says, man, I couldn't take my eyes off of you, man. I was just, ooh, man. So basically it looked like he was trying to get at him. And everybody's looking at Stanley like, So Bo Cruz doesn't know who this random guy is. He hops off. He follows Bo Cruz to the house. Now, when he gets there, Bo Cruz doesn't know who he is. He's like, this random guy's following me. He comes out. Now, they speak in Spanish. He doesn't really speak too much Spanish. So what does Stanley do? He uses his resources. He FaceTimes Dirk Nowitzki and says, look, I'm real deal. NBA. I can get you to NBA. I know Dirk. Basically, Dirk is vouching for him. So now the family is looking like, okay, this guy might be legit. Let's at least hear him out. Now we get a little bit of backstory about our boy Bo Cruz. Now, when we're in the house, the mom is saying, oh, he didn't really play no football, aka soccer. But just like we hear all the time with Luka Doncic and how he played basketball as a pro when he was young, the same with Bo Cruz. A lot of people do this overseas, and you'll notice that, it'll be 13, 14-year-olds. They'll be playing with the 18 to 20-year-olds, depending on their skill. So basically, Bo Cruz, he had the talent. He also has a daughter. It's just, hey, they over in this little bitty place, there's no exposure over here. That's why no one's heard of Bo Cruz. Now, of course, a mom is going to be a mom. They're hearing this, but she wants to know, are you going to take care of my son? How are you going to do it? What is he going to get paid? And he's like, oh, it's going to be prorated. We'll take care of the hotels and things. But then she wants to know, what about the NBA contract? He said the minimum is $900,000. You see the mom, what did she say? Oh, he's calling in sick to work tomorrow. He's coming with you because this is potentially life-changing money and opportunity. Again, Stanley is using his resources. So what he does is take Bo Cruz to the Spanish national team. Now, these national teams, this is where the real hoopers are. When you see anybody hooping on these national level teams and he's winning golds and doing everything for these countries, this is where the talent is. Bo Cruz comes in there. They asking him, hey, let's see what your verdict is. He goes over there, hits the max. He did it in flip-flops. Now, Stanley is over here with Bo Cruz. The national team didn't really work out because that would have been the best thing to do since they got a whole season before the NBA even goes into a draft to try to get Bo Cruz over there to play and get some professional experience because Bo Cruz hasn't played in a while. Now, when he calls back and he's checking in with Vince, Vince is saying, this Bo Cruz guy, I don't know about that. And Stanley's trying to plead his case, but this is building up. You remember, never back down. So eventually, you holding all this in, you're not saying what you want to say to Vince because you need to keep your job. Eventually, it's all going to explode. They got our boy Bo Cruz flying first class, but you remember Vince said there's no money there for him. So when they get to Philly, he's never been there, but we see customs actually stopping him. We're looking, what is he getting stopped for by immigration? They take him on in the back. Comes to find out, our man Bo Cruz had an assault charge. That's why he got flagged in the system once he got into the United States. Now, this is the lawyer, the representative for him, and he's saying, hey, he needs to be careful because when he goes to see the judge, he could potentially get his visa taken. Basically, the visa is allowing him to be in the United States of America. Yeah, you have your passport, but when you go into another country, you normally need a visa. You can get a working visa, you can get a school visa. There's all kinds of different visas. But once you get your visa revoked, it's over with. There's no coming back. Now he has to deal with this Bo Cruz situation. He also has to deal with Bo Cruz not having any money because the Sixers aren't going to go ahead and cover all of that. So he's telling Teresa, I gave him some money. I gave him a phone because he wanted to call his daughter. But I want to present him to the organization correctly. Basically, he's saying, I want to figure out how to get Vince to understand that Bo Cruz is somebody that we need on this team because also we need the Sixers to foot that bill. Bo Cruz don't know nothing about how the NBA works. He doesn't understand that he is valuable. He doesn't understand that you can't be out here just running pickup games when you're trying to get into the NBA. You need to stay healthy and play in some conditions that are a little bit better than this. Shirt on, inside of a gym, not out here playing street ball. So of course we know that Stanley, he's almost having a heart attack because this is my potential advancement. But also Bo Cruz comes from nothing. You remember he was playing in construction boots. He gotta hustle. He gotta find money somehow until them checks start rolling in. This is what you see when people haven't experienced the nicer things in life. Back in the hotel room, Bo Cruz has ordered 5 Philly cheesesteaks, 5 different Philly cheesesteaks, and took one bite out of each. And he says, yeah, if you take one bite out of each one, you have a whole sandwich. Oh, and all of them are different. But this is all costing money. He's even eating Pringles. And you know the Pringles in a hotel room are about $8, $9. Hell, the water is about $8 itself. So he's running it up. But this isn't on the Philadelphia 76ers. This is out of Stanley Sugerman's pocket. Leon Rich knows what Stanley is trying to do. So he tells him about a closed, invite-only, open run for some up-and-coming college players, just so teams can come and look at them. So when they get there, they introduce Bo Cruz to, everyone on the organization. Blake, we even got Kyle Lowry there. I don't know why, but we got Kyle Lowry there. We got Blake, one of the assistant coaches. We got Vince, the owner of the Sixers. Of course, Leon Rich. They see Bo Cruz. But if you look at Vince's face, he's looking like, the hell is this dude, man? We are watching a live action 2K My Player play out right in front of us. Anthony Edwards is the villain in this movie. His name is Kermit Wilts. And he's going against Bo Cruz at this invite-only run. And guess what? You're from Spain? Y'all like bullfights? You're going to be the bull? I'm going to be the guy with the cape. Basically telling Bo Cruz, I'm going to wear you out. They going at it now. Kermit coming down, he hitting shot. Bo Cruz come down, he hit a shot. Kermit come down, he dunking. Bo Cruz come down, he missing. You hear Leon Rich over there like, I like him. Man, we seen one shot. We can't even tell if we like this guy or not. Leon Rich talking about, man, I'm just trying to sign anybody. Of course, you know how it goes. Bo Cruz starts to let up. He ain't doing that good. Kermit's out here windmilling, everyone getting hyped. And of course, Vince is looking. I told Stanley this guy ain't worth it. When they go outside, guess what? Stanley finally had enough. I told you it's going to explode eventually. And he looks Kermit in the face and tells him, oh, I'm not going out looking for no more players. I quit. He quit being a scout. Now, Leon hey, you might have potential here. Y'all might be able to work and figure something out because Stanley doesn't have a job anymore. Vince and Blake, they about to go out and have some drinks. So what does he do? He goes and talks to Bo Cruz because he just quit. But Bo doesn't know that. And he's basically saying, you came all the way out here to have one bad game and give up? No, we got to get better. We got to put ourselves to work to make ourselves better and get into the NBA. Because at this point, Stanley doesn't have anything to lose. He's already lost everything. So the first thing we need to do, you 7 foot tall, we got to get some conditioning. Now, the average person can get up this hill in 2 hours. We're going to do it in an hour 45. And we're going to keep doing this until we can get to that hour 45. So what he's doing is pushing Bo Cruz. So now we got to work. It's nonstop hustle from here on out. We don't have any money coming in, but we got a lot of expenses going out because we're covering Bo Cruz. So what does Stanley do? He gets his daughter. Come out here. We're going to put together a mixtape of Bo Cruz. We're going to put together some highlights. They in the gym, and it looks like she's a little bit flirting with Bo Cruz. I don't know what's going on here, but ma'am, record. We got to eat. So now they're looking at it. And for 5 minutes, he's been contesting shots, going back and forth. Left side, you go up. Top of the key, you come up. Other side, you come up, and he's blocking all the shots. And in 5 minutes, they only made 3 shots. So what they're trying to show is he's a big, but he has agility, and he can move across the court. Also, before we leave, we got to put up 20 shots. Every shot you miss, you hit the bleachers, you come back down and shoot. And what he's doing is talking trash to him. He's telling Bo Cruz, your mom's a whore, because he's seen he wasn't able to handle the trash talking when it came to Kermit. And we see this all the time because you're a professional player, but the fans, the hecklers, they're going to yell things out. We seen it this whole season with Russell Westbrook. He cried about it. That's my name. Well, play better. Don't brick. We seen it last night with Draymond playing like trash against Boston in the finals. They yelling, F Draymond, F Draymond. His wife is crying about it. Well, if he quits flopping around and scores more than 2 points, this man has 15 fouls, 15 points in the finals. You got to deal with the trash talking. Can't dish it out if you can't receive it. Now, of course, when you get home, Teresa, that black woman, she checking the numbers and she's looking. Who is this person you're sending $500 to? Who's ordering porn? Who's ordering room service? Because the Sixers ain't paying for nothing. He's doing it all out of his pocket. But it's Bo Cruz. Bo Cruz needed to call his mom. We're sending money since he's not there working. They need to have money to take care of the daughter. So what does Teresa say? Look, no more room service. And tell Bo Cruz porn is free. Don't pay for OnlyFans, people. And also, I'ma cook meals. I'ma cook the food that we got here so we don't have to expend no $30, $40 every single day just on him eating Pringles. We see Bo Cruz and Stanley starting to get a little bit closer. Bo Cruz is starting to understand that Stanley's doing everything he can. So, of course, you're going to push him. Nothing's ever going to be perfect in life. And he asks what happened to his hand. Now, we know that Stanley used to hoop back in the day. Stanley was nice. But he's like, you're stalling. We need to hit that hill. We need to get that thing to 145. Now, you remember they said the average cyclist, it takes, they get up the hill in 2. We got to get to 145. We see this bicycler. He's riding by talking about, get out the road. You taking up the road, man. We hitting this hill. Bo Cruz ain't fast enough for that yet. The training continues. You starting to see progression with Bo Cruz because you got to be conditioned to run up and down this court. You ain't playing no pickup games. You're going to have to run. And these players are top competitors. And guess what? All of the work is paying off because we have the draft combine coming up. And we just hit 144 on the hill. So not only did we make the 145, we actually beat it with some time to spare. And he up there doing the punching just like he Rocky. That's what determination to do. Bo Cruz, extremely close with the family now. He's getting invited over to dinner. Now, before this, the daughter, she met him, but he wasn't coming to the house. He was at the hotel. So now they're at the house and he wants to know, hey, Teresa, how did you and, Mr. Stanley meet each other? Well, she used to be an athlete. He used to be an athlete. Their bus broke down. He sat next to her for 3 hours, didn't say anything, but when the bus stopped, he yelled out, "You're going to be my wife one day. We're going to have athletic kids." Now, she is his wife, but their kid isn't athletic. And fellas, don't do that. That's lame. That's lame. Well, guess what? Breaking news. We know Vince doesn't like Stanley. We seen that from the first time we laid eyes on him in the conference room. And he's on the news saying, Bo Cruz, yeah, a disgruntled employee, because we know Stanley doesn't work for the Sixers anymore, brought him over and he had an assault charge. So now everyone's looking at it like, man, Bo Cruz, should we have him in the league? He has a bad temper. Now it's not looking good for Bo Cruz because they don't want him in the combine. When a team owner says something like that, yeah, that's a lot of weight right there. So now it's looking like this is the end of the road. So Stanley finally opens up and says, what happened to my hand was there was a wreck. I tried to save Leon, held him back, but I shattered my hand. And I let my whole team down. We had a chance to win the NCAA tournament. And after that, that was the end of Stanley Sugerman, the shooting. This is the last line here. We got to do what we got to do. So Stanley is calling any and everybody. Give me an opportunity. You got a player. We'll come and play anywhere. We'll go over here. We'll play this player. Come on, you got to give him a chance to get into the combine. And everyone's like, I can't do that because you don't want to cut ties or burn bridges with the billionaire owners for a potential one player that we know isn't going to be the face of the league moving forward. You see what I'm saying? Unless you can bring in that new star, that new Curry, that new LeBron, that new KD, then you're not risking it. Most people can be like, nah, I'm just going to go ahead and go with what these billionaire owners are talking about. So what does the family do? Teresa and his daughter, they say, you know who you need to call? Dr. J. Now, you remember he met Dr. J back at the little reception, and he's a Sixers scout, so he knows him. And Dr. J goes to this court, has a little camp going, and guess what they're about to do? We're about to bring that hustle and bring it out here. Anyone that can score on them, we'll give you $50. And if you can beat them, yeah, then we're going to give you some big bread. Basically, to make them go viral. He get out there, he lock it up. Now, you know, his game is take my shirt off. We had the first dude go up for a layup in class. We had this gentleman do a step back. Then he did another step back and another step back and just walked off the court. So Bo Cruz is out here locking up. Now, of course, basketball is pretty big on YouTube. You can go on there and you can see them hooping at any local park. Yeah, they be going crazy out there. But Bo Cruz, he making a name for himself. If anything, hey, just hook up with the professor, and that's what y'all do on Instagram. Y'all go out and y'all ball against people. They even got Bo Cruz out here. The next night, we on the next hustle, we playing against Tobias Harris, and everybody out there going crazy. Now, Philly, you got to do something with Tobias Harris. Either we got to move him or something, because he out here getting cooked by Bo Cruz. Of course, there's no social media without the challenge. The BOA challenge. Y'all know how it is. Everybody going crazy over this new sensation. Now there's a lot of attention on Bo Cruz, the BOA challenge, because he's not only playing regular players, he's playing NBA players. And you see Stanley is basically representing him right now, showing that he could potentially be an agent. But he says if Scottie Pippen and a wolf had a baby, that's Bo Cruz. Now this reporter here, he's saying, you remember what Vince said about him? How come he's out here proving everybody wrong? He can actually hoop. It's draft combine, and when we get there, of course, Bo Cruz is a little bit nervous. He hasn't been on this stage yet. We see Kermit Wilts on here, projected number 2 pick. Hey, we got to get in here. And Stanley's been telling them, everyone's going to be watching you. Not only is it your game, it's the intangibles. How are you with teammates? Are you switching? Are you rotating? Are you doing everything that you need to be doing to make sure that your team could potentially win? And also, hit the drills hard. Bo Cruz out here, he hitting it, the sprints, the 7-footer moving like that. Okay, that ain't bad. We done seen him going for 5 minutes total, defending shots at the rim. So, hey, how does he play though? Of course, Bo Cruz and Kermit Wilts, they going at it nonstop. Now, I know if I'm on the team and I'm in the combine, hey, ball up. We trying to get drafted too. It ain't about to be no one-on-one this whole time. But Bo Cruz is actually doing good. The only thing is, we know Kermit likes to talk trash, and he sees his mama and his daughter up in the bleachers. Now, Stanley knows Bo Cruz. He's been with him for a while, and he sees that he's getting frustrated. That's because of all the trash talk. He actually goes down to the bench and tells the coach, "Hey, give Cruz a check. Hey, give him a breather. Check him out. He's like, "Stanley, we got it over here, but you can't baby him. He has to get out there and he has to do this on his own." Well, we exhausted all of our options. We got to take Bo Cruz back to Spain. We can't afford to keep him here unless a team calls. So they take him to the airport. When he gets ready to leave, he done already went through security. Stanley gets a call. "Hey, we got an open run. It's a hush hush. Where's your man at?" He's like, "Man, I just dropped him off at the airport." He's like, "You need to get him here." They get in there. Everybody in the NBA in here hooping today. And of course, Kermit's in here also. And they going at it. But Bo Cruz, he got that confidence now. He's a little bit calmer. He's paying attention to the game and letting it come with him. He's letting it flow. After that, everyone's seen, hey, Bo Cruz ain't really that bad. And guess what? Stanley got his job back. He's the assistant coach now. And it looks like Bo Cruz got drafted. Now, he didn't get drafted to the Sixers, but he went to Boston. So this is still a good look. And they still have that bond. And they doing a little bit of trash talking with each other. But it's good. He made it into the league. He made it to being a coach. And of course, I've been training him. So what does he tell Tobias Harris? 22, when he does this and this? Yeah, this is what he's trying to do. Now, Bo Cruz ain't about to get a lot of minutes anyway, but when he gets in the game, you can stop him. All right, there you go. The Hustle on Netflix. Overall, I think it was pretty good. I give it about a 7.5, 8. Would I be able to watch this again? Is there any replay value? I definitely think there is. And what I like to see is Adam Sandler. He's showing that he has range. Let me know what you guys think about this movie. Of course, you know, it's a little bit of different basketball movies that they put in together to put this, you know, saying to get this storyline. But overall, what do you think about it? And of course, there are a lot of players that go through this same situation. Now, they may not get as much media attention, but they definitely do. So let me know what you guys think. Drop it down in the comments. I'm Mo.J. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.